Wow, what a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Can you believe this? This is great weather. I mean, it wasn't so great a couple of days ago, and this is going to be too hot, the rest of the week, so enjoy today. If you weren't thinking about going outside, take my advice. Get outside. It is a beautiful day. But listen, don't leave if you don't have a radio, because you got to listen to what we got here, because I have the legendary William Speedy Morris, the basketball coach. He's at St. Joseph's Prep High School, but he was at LaSalle College, where he coached the men's and women's basketball team, long time at Roman Catholic, and so much more. He's here to talk to us about, being a basketball coach, what it means to him, what he likes to do with the young people that he coaches, and what lessons he has for all of us to hear. Then we'll be talking to Alexandria Leggett. She's sitting right across from me. She's the events coordinator and cultural lead at Technically. Never heard of it? Then you're probably older of a certain age, right? Technically, tech is about innovation, science, creativity through technology, and this is Philly Tech Week, and it means so much to us in terms of our ability to enjoy things. But for me, listen, I love the jobs, I love the entrepreneurship. She's going to tell us what's going on and invite you to learn a little more about Philly Tech Week and Technically. And then we're going to talk to Aisha Winfield. She is a music person, and I mean big time music, but then she founded JR Music Executives, which is a nonprofit which helps kids be encouraged to attend school, focus on their studies, things like that, but also learn about STEM through music careers. So all of that coming up. Let me first start by thanking the show's sponsor, Weinerman Pain and Wellness. They're at 100 South Broad Street in Philadelphia, Suite 1800. They do the work of helping people rehabilitate from injuries. Coach knows all about that. You can't play if you're hurt, and you can't work if you're hurt. And if you're hurt, you don't really have a good attitude. So if you need some help, check out Weinerman Pain and Wellness. Last week, we were talking to Carlo Argoncillo, Executive Director of the Philadelphia Veterans Advisory Commission. He's also captain in the U.S. Army Reserve. And, we have Philly Vet Fest, the Vet Fest coming up May 9th, 11 p.m. Maybe it's 1 p.m. Well, you better check it out, because I'll be there. I'm not sure what time, but I'll be there. Vet Fest, it's an annual thing. And we spoke to Joseph Conyers. He's the assistant principal bassist with the Philadelphia Orchestra. And, in addition to that, he is just involved in so many other things, especially helping young people with and through music. And then we talked to Charlie Skrillo. He is president of the Veteran Boxers Association. They are really focused on building up the Philadelphia Boxing Museum at the VBA Ring 1. And you can check all these people out by going to our website, www.dbam.com. And when you go there, just look at the programs. You'll see In the Know with David O. If you click on that, if you do it after 4 o'clock, you'll get a podcast of today's show, but you'll also be able to listen to all the other shows. Well, let me start by introducing you to Speedy Morris. I'm calling him Coach Morris, but you could call him Speedy Morris. That's what he's known as, Speedy Morris. But his real name is William Speedy Morris. He's a 50-year head coach, and he has over 1,000 victories. He's the winningest coach in LaSalle University and St. Joseph Prep history. He has the finest winning percentage of any coach in Roman Catholic High School and LaSalle University's women coach. And he's been inducted to 11 Hall of Fames, and he has been recently nominated for the James Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, which is like the big Hall of Fame. Get in that Hall of Fame, that's big. Anyway, it's an honor just to be nominated. And he has so much to share with us, not just about basketball, but about dealing with young people and building character and things like that. And so, welcome to the show, Coach Morris.
Thanks, Dave, for having me, and pleasure to be here.
Okay. Well, let me kind of ask you this: how did you start in basketball? Because as I understand it, you didn't really start as a teacher, and I'm not sure if you were actually like a basketball player, like most people would expect, but you started coaching basketball.
I did, David. It started out when I was in high school. So I went to Roman Catholic High School. I was on a basketball team. My senior year, I got very sick, sleep dizzy spells, and spent a week in the hospital. And they could find out what was wrong, and I missed about 3 months of practice.
Oh.
And it was now, back then you could start in September. And this was now in November, and Parish Priest called me up and told me that guy was coaching on a single basketball team. My parish, St. John Baptist in Manioc, retired or came to me and asked me if I wanted to do it. So I said, let me think about it. I talked to my high school coach, and he encouraged me to do it. He said, you might like it. And I just went off to do it. That was in 1959. I was 14 years old, coached the kids there. And I was 17 years old, coached 14, 15-year-olds. And I coached every year since. It's been about six decades, starting in 59.
Wow.
So it's a long time.
That's a fascinating story. In other words, you're 17 years old coaching a team of I guess young men at this. Yeah, 7th and 9th. Yeah, who were that's fascinating.
I did that for 7 years, and then I got the job at Rome. I was dying to get a chair coach job at Rome. I don't have a college degree, and everyone said, "Well, you can't get one because you don't have a degree." But I said, my friend's wedding, and the priest was doing the wedding. Was a principal of Rome. He said, Speedy, would you like to help us out? I said, Father, I love it. So he said, let me get back to the story. And about 3 weeks after I figured out I'm not going to get it. I had to go for Father Shields AD at Rome. I guess put down for interviews. So we did it. He gave me a JV job. I couldn't do it. I had $5 in my pocket. I went down by a t-shirt. Didn't have any t-shirts that Joseph sold us. I had book covers. I put $5 worth of book covers. I went with that. $5 worth, 20 book covers. I went to my mother said, what are you doing with that? I don't know, put them in the window. So happy to be coaching. The next year, they fired the head coach. They fired the head coach. Gave me the job.
Okay.
So I coached the Romans for 14 years. Got an opportunity to go to Penn Charter. Coached Penn Charter for 2 years. I was offered the women's job in the South. I turned it down twice. I want to coach girls. They asked me to go have a meeting with them, and they did. They offered me a position in Michigan for my kids. It was just girls. It was going to be 8th grade and women. Freshman year, Penn Charter. And basically, I took the job. I coached 2 years of women. It was great there. 2 great teams. Went to the NCAA tournament for the first time ever in history. Now, the next year, they just gave me men's. So I was there for 15 years. And I left them with St. Joe's Prep and finished in the 17th grade with them. So it's been 15 years as a head coach, and I've enjoyed it every year.
Wow. It's interesting because, I always think of coaches as very loud and very aggressive, but you're actually very calm and very soft-spoken. How do you get the players to bend to your will? Could you share that secret with us? My wife would like to know. She just screams at her kids. They're very little, but they never listen to her.
They should see me if there's referees around. They turn me into a monster.
Oh, they turned you into a monster? Are you like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
No, I'm trying to practice. I don't know how I'm trying to teach, but on a game plan, I carry away.
Get excited.
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask you this: how do you approach getting your players to follow your intentions, to get them to train and to practice and to play as a team?
Well, young people still they want this, but they want to be able to elevate something they can start from and try to that's why you keep scoring the win. You don't win, it's not the end of the world. You just got to do better next time. And I've had a lot of success with the kids based on that.
What would you describe, if I were to ask you, what is your secret ingredient to making this all work?
I think being honest, kids again, they can smile on me, don't follow me, do almost anything they ask me to do if they believe me. And I try to be honest with them. I try to tell them what's the right thing to do. And I always say success oriented. That's why I think young people being as I do, they want to be instructed. They want to be led. In the old days, when I first saw you told them about the wall, they would do it. And now they want to know why. That's the reason for it.
Right. Did you hear that? He said that in the old days, the kids would do what you told them, but now they want to know why. Well, and what do you tell them? What is the why? Why should they do this?
Well, because it's the right thing, and they want to get better, and want to win. And so they make sacrifices. It's all about sacrifices. And the parents, it was just, talk about the parents, these fathers, they work hard, and they make a lot of sacrifices. They don't be afraid to make a sacrifice, they want to be successful. So we have kids that don't care who gets the credit as long as the team's successful. They care about each other, that's important. So we play 14 or 15 on the bench, which we try to same as the guys at store. Play like 10 minutes. My own game, it's tough. I was a bench warmer, so I know. I know it's tough to sit on the bench. It's tough. The players are going to say you're not playing, but it's more. They believe me. And the most part, they do.
Something you and I share. I was a bench warmer too. We should start our own club, the Bench Warmers Club. My friends used to joke to me. They'd say, "Yeah, Dave was on a football team. I wasn't, but I got as much playing time as he did."
They just call me a judge because I was on the bench.
Now I have a string of questions to ask you. They're simple questions, but I want you to give it your best answer because you've had such a broad career. Tell me what was great and what was not so great about coaching elementary kids. Great and not so great.
Great was
Winning. No?
It's just being there and doing your best was always great. And when I knew that it was just really had some kids to cry. Back then.
Yeah.
They cried. That was it.
That was tough. Yes. Yeah, the little kids cry. Yeah, that is sad. Makes me swell up when you say that. But yeah, the kids they're great in elementary school. And now how about high school?
Kids are great. They really are. They say, what's the difference between coaching kids now and when they first started? The parents are different. So the kids are basically the same. They want to be successful. They just need to know how to do it. If you tell them, be real with them, they'll do it. That's why they will do it.
Okay. Well, it sounds pretty straightforward so far. But we have Aisha Winfield. We'll have to check with her because she has JR Music Executives. I know she's telling the young people to do stuff because it's the right thing to do. I just don't know. Listen, I tell young people to do stuff because it's the right thing to do. I don't know if they really listen to me, and they're my own kids. So somehow you have a straightforward approach, which seems to be working for you over these 50 years.
The best thing I've been blessed with, good health. I mean, I coach 1,400 some games to get to that Mr. Healthy thing.
Right.
That.
Yes.
These are good assistant coaches. I've been great assistant coaches. Like, the ones I have now, Steve Keith, Ray Monroe, Jim Perella, Matt Ryan, and they all do a lot for me, and the kids love them. Even successful out there. Of course, I could get a good wife.
Yes.
It's one of them. Be there for you.
Yes.
Work for you. My wife's my best friend. She's there all the time.
All right.
I'm blessed to coach probably 3 of the greatest high schools in the country. Home Academy, and Charter, and St. Joseph Prep. And I'm very blessed to be there.
Okay. Now let's continue with my line of questioning here. So, college women's basketball. What was great about that and not so great?
People say the difference between college and college men and college women.
Yeah.
There's not much of a difference. They play the same way. Guys jump higher, kids are girls, the timeouts, those timeouts not like that.
Oh, the timeouts not better. Okay, well, we better work on that with these gentlemen. So I understand you're a pretty religious person. You go to mass quite often, that type of thing.
Yes, they like community and churches.
And is that an important part of what you bring to coaching?
Well, it is. Sometimes I get carried away. It's things I shouldn't say. So I'm not perfect. So I need that grace. And that's your grace. So I go to church every day.
Oh, so now we know why you go every day.
That's right.
What is it that you would like to see in terms of like what impact you have through all of this basketball coaching and all the victories?
Well, I'd just like to see I'm seeing a young guy through 3-year program get married, raise kids, be successful. I've had 7 guys in the pros, really good job in pros. I've had a lot of guys in the doctors, orders. Just to see if you actually be a good person. And I don't know if he's trusting worker, a plumber, doctor, or lawyer. They're a good person. And you say maybe he had a little bit with that. Their success is important.
Okay, yeah. Certainly the character development, the values that you instill through basketball, it is very important. Could you explain to some of our listeners who are not athletes, what is the fundamentals about being a successful coach, not just in terms of winning games, but in terms of building character?
Well, I think it starts with your upbringing. You know, it sounds brought up by parents. Here, my dad got one in 8th grade. I was smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. There was no warning system. I was smoking back then. But my mother, she raised us, raised 5 of us, and did a great job with it. And you know, I think it starts with a good foundation in your family. And it's one of the secrets to success. My upbringing, my family, and support that from many people, friends, parents, have been very, very good to me. And I think that I have a lot of success.
You know, you see that young man you're sitting across from, that's Dan Oliver. He works in my office. He's a pretty good basketball player. That's what he says. You look at him as a coach, what do you think? Can you do anything with him? Look at that, look at that.
Absolutely,
in
Coach.
elementary school, or which team?
No, sorry, power forward.
Power forward, check it out.
Right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, there you go. The expert
See?
says he can play. Now,
See?
by the way, I challenged him to a game, 1-on-1, and he backed down. Something about he was hurt, or I don't know what it was. I said, listen, I'll play you with my suit and tie on. I said, that's your one and only chance. No, actually, he was hurt. That's why I challenged him then. I'm wise. I challenged him, but he can't play. And after that, I said, listen, the window.
When you guys are ready, I'll open my 14.
Uh-oh. That
Yeah.
sounds like a fundraiser. Speaking of fundraisers, Coach, and I know that all these schools, you know, are pretty well funded, and yet there's never enough funds. But as you look at, you know, all the coaching that you've done, elementary school, high school, colleges, you know, especially working with the kids, have there been times where you've seen like really talented kids, but they just didn't have the financial support or the emotional support, and how do you deal with that as a coach?
That's tough, you know, but we got blessed a lot of fundraisers, a lot of support for the kids. For some kids who come from poor areas that don't have and all the opportunities to shape some be very good at that. I do a lot of fundraising, coaches versus cancer. We've raised almost $100,000.
Right.
You know, a lot of fundraising for kids. We're able to get lots of financial support. Some schools don't have that opportunity to shape parents.
Yeah, it's certainly a good, solid background, but the fact that you do more, go above and beyond to raise money for cancer and other things like that, that's certainly, you know, a wonderful way to use your position, and also to set a great example for your players and for other folks in the school and the community.
Well, there's a lot of really support system. Cancer is just the number one. I pray that someday they will. I don't know if they my life not there. What's going to happen is people are going to go along with it. People one month since coaches had cancer, and he being is now cancer free. That's two goes to the Alexandria which is cancer free. And then there's a lot of people that's happening to now. So money coming in is really, really doing a good job, and the doctors are phenomenal. They're doing terrific.
Okay, well, listen, thank you for joining us, spending this time, and, you know, I guess there's more games to come, so listen, check out the games with St. Joe's Prep, and shout out, you know, Coach Speedy Morris when you see him, and, you know, his record is climbing. Let's see how high it climbs, 1,009 victories and climbing. Coach, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your time with us.
Thanks very much. It's been a pleasure to be here. Good luck to you.
All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this commercial break. All All right, we are back. Listen, we were talking to a very soft-spoken and gentle Coach Speedy Morris, but he let us know that he's not always so gentle and soft-spoken once he gets into the excitement and the drama of coaching a basketball team as they're in the middle of play. And hence he goes to church a lot. Well, actually, I think he just goes to church a lot because he's a religious and very devout, thoughtful person. And so, congratulations to Coach Morris, Speedy Morris, 1,009 wins. Quite a career. And now, listen, I'm joined by a delightful young lady. She's not shy.
You.
Her name is Alexandria Leggett. She is the events coordinator and cultural lead for Technically.
Yes, I am.
All right.
Hi,
Thanks
David.
for joining us. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Should I call you?
No, you call me
Should I
David.
Councilman?
Call me whatever
Okay,
you like.
David, got it.
All right. Makes me feel young. It's better than calling me like Mr. Councilman O.
Yeah, whatever. No, we work for those titles, so.
Yeah.
I
No.
understand.
Listen. So why don't you tell everybody about your position, because you are events coordinator and cultural lead at Technically. First of all, for those who don't know, what is Technically and what is your position?
Got it. So, technically, first and foremost, we are a news organization. We are publishing news on. We are publishing technology news in Philadelphia and 4 other markets. We were founded in Philly 9 years ago, and we're basically telling the stories of tech founders in the city and how they are keeping us moving forward.
There was, there's always been like the universities and the pharmaceuticals and, the medical device manufacturing, all that stuff. But then there was a burst of entrepreneurism, new people, innovation, fusion, food, all kinds of stuff. And especially in, the technology field. And so Technically was born as a way of keeping people informed about what's happening. And then they just grew and grew and grew with events like Philly Tech Week.
That's right.
And so what's going on this week?
Wow, it is Tuesday. We are in the middle of this right now.
Middle of Philly Tech Week.
I literally left my team packing the U-Haul to come to do this interview with you.
Wow,
So
wow.
very big deal.
Yes.
Philly Tech Week started on Friday. It is a 10-day celebration of technology and innovation happening in Philadelphia and the surrounding regions.
Like over 100 events or some crazy number like
So
that.
it grew and grew and grew, and 2 years ago now we decided to cap the calendar and curate it just for high quality events.
Right.
And I'm so proud to be a part of that, because we've seen wonderful events come out of the collaboration.
Right.
And you just forcing the people to work together, and beautiful things happen.
Yeah, and so for our listeners, and by the way, listeners, there are a lot of free events. They're open to the public. There are some closed events and all that stuff, obviously, but there are a lot of free events and for all sorts of folks. But where can people learn about the calendar of events and where to go and what's happening?
So you're going to want to go to phillytechweek.com, P-H-I-L-L-Y, techweek.com. Beautiful calendar that you can browse through. All of the event organizers work so hard to market their events with our help, and they are some of these organizers are first-time organizers, have never planned an event.
You hear that? They want you to come.
They want you there.
So you're not intruding. Please come. They'll be like, oh my goodness, another person is here. They'll be so happy.
Yeah, we are an all-inclusive and terribly welcoming community, and we want you all to be involved. That is literally our job, pushing Philadelphia forward. So, and we can't do it without more people paying attention. So,
and tech is so important to Philadelphia, whether it's directly or indirectly touching your lives. So learn about it, support it. Certainly the future of Philadelphia. So much of it involves technology, and as Aisha Winfield knows, look, even music, filmmaking, all kinds of stuff.
that's right.
Now, Alexandria, tell us about your job and how it affects the folks listening.
My job specifically. Awesome. So, beyond planning my own portfolio of events for Technically, which range from beyond Philly Tech Week, which range from networking events for developers and job fairs for people searching for their first job in technology.
Oh, hey, listen to that. If you're looking for a job, you're going to want to get in touch with her.
Pay
because
attention
she
to
is
Technically.
organizing job fairs, opportunities for internships, all kind of things.
That's right. So beyond that, beyond planning the events that engage our readers in person, I lead culture within our office because we are one of the coolest teams in town. I like to brag about.
Okay, cool.
Definitely the people I work with are what pulled me in when I first started with Technically.
Now, you started as an intern, right?
That's right.
Were you in high school, college?
Oh, this is wonderful. Because Speedy mentioned something that touched me, and I did not realize that he didn't go to school, or he doesn't have a degree.
Oh, okay.
Had $5 in his pocket when somebody
Yes.
offered him a job.
Yeah.
That's amazing because I have to compare that Roman Catholic principle to Christopher Wink because I'm sorry for those of you that don't know, Christopher Wink, co-founder of Technically and CEO. He offered me my first opportunity, and I wasn't even in school at the time. Like I was taking classes at community, and that is in school.
Right.
But I wasn't going to school full time. I was 24 years old, and all of my friends had graduated or were graduating, and I was coming from a wedding coordinator job, and he took a chance on me, and we are now 2.5 years later.
Wow, that's great. And she was talking about our first guest, Coach William Speedy Morris, that over 1,000 wins, basketball coach. And she shared, I won't go into details, but she shared the story that she has been, she knows who he is, and she certainly follows sports. And
I need 1,000 wins.
yes,
Yeah.
and so that was pretty cool. So listen, I mean, you end up with this job, and what is the duties of your job? So I think people understand what an events coordinator is. You're organizing, coordinate all these events, and what about cultural lead?
So culture lead, I host what some people on my team would call the funnest meeting of the team, because we get together, we talk about. I put together agendas, whether they are redecorating the office or our team retreat right now, which is like my favorite part of leading culture.
Right.
But yeah, I basically hold the pulse of the happiness on my team.
So really talking about like the work environment, the work culture.
Exactly.
And see, my idea of these retreats is you take them up to the mountains, you put like a 90-pound rucksack on them, and you make them run and sweat and all that stuff. Is that what you're doing?
So
no?
I'm giving you some ideas.
I work in I try to be as inclusive as possible, especially with my teammates. So it can't be all physical. I can't like whip them into shape, but
Right.
but I feel like you're spilling the beans.
Uh-oh. I was joking, ladies and gentlemen, but apparently there's some truth to this. You might want to think about not going to work for Technically.
No, we're awesome.
Yes. Okay, fantastic.
Thanks.
Now, let me ask you about your salted caramel apple pie.
Oh my gosh, David, why?
Well, because not only do you do this, but you also host dinner parties, and you develop recipes. That's all part of the creative economy, right?
Absolutely. I love you for mentioning like my personal endeavors, because I do that. I cook. I hosted a dinner party 2 weeks ago for my 9-to-5 friends, and it was awesome. And my salted caramel apple pie. Oh man, I'm gonna have to show you a photo after the interview, because at our last Thanksgiving potluck, I cut out my pate brisée. For those of you that don't know, that is a crust made of primarily butter. But I I cut it out with the Technically Media logo, and I put it on top. It was very impressive, y'all. I'm sorry, David did not tell me I had to bring a pie today. I would have totally brought a pie.
Mandatory.
I'm sorry. Next time. Next time.
Yeah. So what is it about Technically Philly, and kind of your aspirations and Philly Tech Week that you could bring full circle for us?
Awesome. So when I started in my position, I was an intern. So it's taken a very long time for me to reach the point of the scope, like actually paying attention to the scope of or appreciating the view that I have.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't get to communicate with leaders of organizations as frequently as I do. And since I've held this position, it's almost like more and more weight of responsibility to like actually impact my community.
Yeah.
Like it builds by the year.
Right.
And here we are in 2018 and social justice issues are swarming around us, and I sit and people in our community are telling me that I have privilege in my scope, and now I had to do things. So I took the pt.1 community calendar very seriously when it came to seeking out event organizers of color so that they could bring diverse programming to the table, not just programming centered around diversity, but actual diverse programming.
Right. And let me just tell our listeners, because if they didn't know, Philly Tech Week is a huge deal, and there's many people and companies and businesses and entrepreneurs trying to get a piece of that.
Absolutely. Over 100 events it started with. We capped at 100, but that did not stop our growth. Our partners are over 200. Our sponsors this year, I won't give you a fake number, but they are strong and they continue to grow.
And it's not just in Philadelphia, by
Absolutely.
the way. Yeah, there's like Philly Tech Week in Baltimore.
So that's right.
Yeah.
We do Baltimore Innovation Week as well. That happens in the fall, and Delaware Innovation Week. That's right down 95. If you want to take a look, it happens in November.
Yeah, but all of this really from Technically, which is based here in Philadelphia.
Exactly. We're just trying to impact tech communities anywhere we can.
Okay, fantastic. Well, again, where can people learn all about this and more? Is it the website? Are there other places?
So I'm going to tell you two websites. The first is Technically, which David has been saying this whole time.
Technically, but it's spelled technical.
Exactly.
.ly.
Exactly.
Technical.ly.
Technical.ly. If you go to our website, just click on the leading story today and try not to be engaged. You will immediately be drawn in, and we're going to ask you to subscribe. But the subscription is not something that should annoy you, because it is only news that is affecting your city, and we should all care about our city. Yeah, go Philly.
Absolutely.
Here they come.
Now, if people want to hire you for a dinner party, where do they go? Technically, or do they go somewhere else?
Right before my personal plug, you should also visit phillytechweek.com. Like, honestly, that it is the best showing of what our community can do in 6 months. Like, we started with a planning meeting in November, and we're here. It's Tuesday. I can't believe I'm here right now. This is in the middle of it.
But a beautiful Tuesday.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Thanks for inviting me. phillytechweek.com. Come out. And I'd be terrible if I didn't mention our two leading events for the week. Beyond our dev conference, which is happening tomorrow, if you're a developer, you still have a chance to sign up and learn some new languages. Yes. Introduced by Technically is happening on Thursday. It is the first time that we're producing an event of this size, and I have a feeling that it's going to be our best ever. The readers, the attendees, they were all asking for Philly Tech Week in one location, because we were making them span the city to be able to enjoy all of the content that we produce. So we put it all into one room and one building and multiple rooms, and you can choose your path for the day. So buy your ticket and look at the schedule, and you decide what you want to be engaged in. But we have it all there under one roof. It's happening on Thursday. Check it out on phillytechweek.com. And the signature event, Reading Terminal Market. Come out, eat all of the vendors that you never get a chance to try before. Play with locally made tech. Stop by the photo booth. Comcast is going to have the coolest activation. They're our title sponsor, if you didn't know, Philly Tech Week 2018. And yeah, that's the plug, I guess.
Okay, well, listen, we're out of time on this segment, so if you want to hire Alexandria Leggett to host your dinner party, check out Technically and hunt her down. And stay tuned because we'll be talking to Aisha Winfield and JR Music Executive.
Yes.
All right, we're back. And listen, I'm sitting here with Aisha Winfield. She is the founder of JR Music Executive, JME. It's an entertainment industry-based initiative created to encourage students to attend school, graduate, and be successful by exposing them to STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, to STEM careers through the music business. And, what an exciting concept. Let me ask you this. How did you come up with that idea?
So when I was in high school, I was initially interested in being an engineer until I
okay.
had my first internship, and I did not like it at all. And so I was trying to figure out what I could do from there, and I learned about the music industry a little bit at a time, and the more I knew, I realized that students didn't know how connected music, science, technology is, and that there are thousands of different opportunities for them to get involved if they just know about the skills that are necessary.
Now, when did you get involved with music? Was it in high school or was it college or after college?
You know what? In high school, I tried. I was in a choir.
Mhm.
Was not good. I played piano. I was not good.
Sound like
And
me
so,
so far.
when I got to college, I actually went to a career fair and learned about Sony Music Entertainment. And at the time, they had an internship in New York that was a paid internship. And so the summer of my junior year in college is when I really learned the most about music, technology, and kind of all of the different intersections. And so the more that I learned, I wanted to make sure other people knew. And when I got here to Philadelphia, I worked at a record label in New York, and then when I moved to Philadelphia, I always got calls from students that were either trying to get their music played or trying to get signed.
Right.
And the more you ask them about what they know about the careers and just the industry as a whole, I realized there was a gap and there was an opportunity there.
Wow. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit for our listeners because when she says she was in college, she was at Cornell University.
I was,
Oh
indeed.
my goodness. And then when she said she worked at a record label, well, she worked at a few. She worked at Epic Records.
Did.
And she was eventually there, the National Director of Street Promotions and Marketing. And she also managed national promotion in teams in 15 cities,
Yeah.
increasing awareness for new artists and releases. She was the general manager of the artist management firm CID Management, which includes Jill Scott, Michael Phillips, Down to the Bone. And she joined Rockstar Entertainment. A lot of important people there. And she also is or was the executive director for Jill Scott Blues Babe Foundation, and she's still on as a consultant. Is that right?
That is correct.
And
yeah.
so you don't just have a little bit of history in music; you have a rich and very top-notch, resume in the music industry.
And the thing is that a lot of people take for granted the talent and the resources that are here in Philadelphia because the vast majority of what I've learned and been able to do has been with artists and executives that are here in this city
And some
that
big
really
name.
make things move.
And
Yes.
some big name entertainment,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And the flagship program, Camp Jill Scott.
Yes, for the Blues Babe Foundation. This is
Beanie
our
Siegel
10th
and
year.
all kind of stuff. And so
Yep.
people may not appreciate that JR Music Executive is founded and managed by a woman who is a Cornell graduate, a national director of promotions for Epic Records, for Rockstar Entertainment, and so many other things. And this program is a free program.
It is.
Yeah,
And the
wow.
thing that I really appreciate and enjoy is being able to share that I've worked in a number of different areas,
Right.
but there are also so many people that are willing to work with our young people. And as Coach said, they really want to be successful. So
Yes.
to just be able to help give them tools to be successful, whether it's in music or in other things that they may decide to do. Because
Yeah,
there's so many things.
They may have a talent and opportunity in music, or music, as you say, may be a vehicle for a successful person emerging from a young student who just keeps going to school, following through, and other things.
Yeah, and we've had students that initially started in our program with an interest either in being artists or producers and found a love for other things that they enjoy. So whether it's PR and communications and just being able to take every opportunity that comes to try new things.
Now, for those listening, if you have a grandchild, a son, or you got an older brother, and you're saying, "Hey, this sounds interesting," what are the parameters to participate in your program?
So for us, it's high school and college age students, and we do have an open session that happens every Monday. It is from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and so their students are doing songwriting, they're doing music production, they're learning about various aspects, and so that's almost like a drop-in program. So if you think you may be interested, you're not really sure, then that's a great place to be able to get started and to kind of meet some of our staff and also some of our students to see if it's a good fit.
Where is this open session?
That is at, actually we share a space with the Blues Babe Foundation. It's right on Broad Street at 2233 North Broad, right across from the Uptown. So on Broad Street between Susquehanna and Dolphin. Every Monday from 4 until 7.
4 until 7. And where can they go on the internet to find out about this program and other things that JR Music Executive does?
So we have a website. It is under construction, but it does have some information, and that's just jrmusicexec.com. We also have an Instagram page, Twitter, and Facebook. We're the most active on Instagram, so anytime we have an event, a fundraiser, or any kinds of other activities, because we do partner with a number of different organizations in Philadelphia, and so we're always looking for volunteers or students that want to be involved in some of those projects.
Okay, so what's the Instagram?
The Instagram is also jrmusicexec.
Okay, fantastic. And you just had your Power Breakfast?
We did. So every year we like to be able to celebrate people that have been really helpful to youth as well as some of our students. And so it's something that we do to inspire some of our students that are just getting started, as well as to provide a showcase opportunity for some of the young talent. So we had that at the Hard Rock Cafe last Friday morning.
Nice event. I was there.
Yeah, it was raining, but people came out and we had a good time.
Yes,
so.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
By the way, I met your daughter.
Yes.
And wow, if there was a testament to good parenting.
She will be the CEO.
Oh,
She's ready to take
goodness.
over.
I was like, yikes.
Yeah, so we had talked a little bit about it, and most of the time when we have events, she's not able to come because either she's in school or they're late at night, and so this happened to be a perfect opportunity because she had a half day and her school allowed her to come.
Fantastic.
So
she is a little girl. I had to do a double take. I saw a little girl, and then she started talking to me, and I'm like, is this like a graduate school student or something? She was so polite, so mature, so professional. I was like, wait a minute, something's not matching here.
Been around for a while, and so all of our students know she takes cues and pays attention, and she's ready to take over.
She's a wonderful, wonderful young lady.
Thank you.
Now, what are you building for the future of JR Music Executive?
Sure. So right now we have our Monday program. We also have an internship program, and we do an after-school program at Tech Friere Charter School.
Right.
And we want to be able to expand to work in more schools and with more students. And so we've always had success doing projects where students are able to get hands-on experience.
Right.
So we've partnered with Smith Playground and Playhouse. We provide a youth stage for Kidchella.
Wow.
And the students that we work with provide sound as well as performances at that event. And so we're just looking for other ways to be able to showcase the skills that our students have learned and being able to help them so that they're trying new things and really getting hands-on experience in each of those opportunities.
How can people help out?
So in addition to the fundraiser, we have a Network for Good page, a website where people can donate. They can also donate time and volunteer, because a lot of times we have events and we need additional adults to be able to help support.
Right.
So the website to make a monetary donation is jrmusicexec.com, .networkforgood.com. Oh, they're going to get me.
Okay, let's do it again, everybody. Let's do it again.
It's jrmusicexec.networkforgood.com. That's the website.
Networkforgood.com.
Yes, and so it's a wonderful platform where you can make a donation. We'll be able to automatically send you a thank you, add you to our mailing list if you would like, and the funds go to support all the programs that we're doing with you.
And you're connected to a lot of really talented and determined, hardworking young people who are just so interested in music.
Absolutely. And we talk all the time about how you have to really take it seriously. A lot of times people say that they're interested in music, but just like with any other career, it really takes a lot of hard work and practice and determination to make sure that you reach that level of success that you want to. So.
Yeah, just like Coach Morse was saying, I mean, basically, if you want to be a professional basketball player, you want to be a winning team, you just can't show up a little bit.
All the way, you got to be in 100%.
Yes.
And we also really stress the fact that it's important to figure out what success means to you. Because especially in entertainment, there's all kinds of levels of success. And so thinking about what you really want to achieve and setting some of those goals, like you mentioned, to be able to reach those levels that you want to.
Yeah, and there's so many people, they want to be a star.